Okay, so this is my project, and start off with basically a pH sensor over here that senses pH and then turns on CO2, which is over here. Do this little valve right here, and that feeds into the water, and it lowers the pH. Here we can see the amplifier circuit right here, and the display tells you the current pH that the sensor is reading. And if you press this button over here, it actually tells you what the target pH is. Right now it's set for 7.9. See, over here is our AC solid state relay, which is controlled from the microcontroller. So whenever you want to turn it on, you just make the pin high and it turns on basically this thing, which goes to the wire over here, and it turns this on. So whenever this is on, there's actually a red light in here that turns on. So let's see how it works. Right now we're reading a pH of somewhere around 7.3. It seems to bounce around quite a bit. There's not a lot of movement in here, so the water is actually in this little container. It's just tap water, which makes sense because the pH is about 7.2 and stuff. Well, I'm communicating. Let me disconnect this so it doesn't confuse people. I'm communicating through this wireless module over here. There's actually another wireless one connected to my computer, and I just send it information serially using this command over this display. So let's go ahead and change our target pH. It's controlled through the computer. So we actually have to send it a hex number. You can send it, let's send it 46, which is 70. You send it a number between 0 and 140 to set your target pH. 0 being 0 pH and 140 being 14 pH. So let's send it, and we should see this light come on as the sensor sees that the pH is above 70 and it tries to lower it. So the light comes on. It kind of flickers here and there, but that's only because the sensor sometimes goes down to 70 pH. It bounces around quite a bit. If we actually lower it even more to, let's say, 68, the light actually stays constant, since our sensor never gets down to 68, and we see that the CO2 is actually feeding in. Now if we increase it again to 79, the light turns off, which means that target pH is above the current pH, so we're not feeding CO2 anymore, and all is good. There's not really much else to talk about here. I think that's it. Actually, I have two power supplies for this. One going to the STK500, which is the standard power supply, and I have another power supply over here for the amplification circuit, which is feeding 9 volts. Could have actually used the power from the STK500, but I didn't want to overload the power, the little regulator. It seems to get pretty hot already. It's pretty hot. So I used an external power supply for this one. Yeah, that's it. Wireless communication, AC control, and the sensor input over here through the ADC. Okay.